I was inspired to found and create Sourland Mountain Spirits by an inner passion for producing quality craft products. I'm a builder by nature, and I wanted to create a wonderful craft spirit that I could share with the community. Our distillery is located on a wonderful farm in central New Jersey at the foothills of the Sourland Mountains, just miles away from where George Washington crossed the Delaware.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is the Next Taste on Tour, and this is our craft beverage and culinary tour.
Culinary.
Always going to correct
culinary.
Anyway, sitting to my left, I got the beautiful, the divine, just getting back from Vegas and turning around and going back because we cover the tour every week.
Yep.
Is Miss Kira. She had about 4 hours sleep last night and probably celebrated.
I unfortunately didn't know who won.
I didn't either till this morning. I didn't either. I gave up.
I got to on the plane, and then I was just...
I just got the internet back about an hour ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so I even paid the bill. But the bill has been paid. So anyway, we have the beautiful human being coming to us from New Jersey, from Sourland Mountain Spirits, is the one, the only, the CEO, the founder, Ray Dish. How are you, Dish?
Good, good, good.
Are you dishing it up this morning, or are you just going to fit right in here?
Oh, we're gonna dish it out. If you keep
yes,
going.
I like that. I like that.
Attitude is gratitude, you know.
Hey, I'm from North Jersey, you know. It comes in the genes.
Yeah, well, we had actually a good friend of ours, Paul Tanacci. He was on the Atlantic Seacoast Winery Association, went out to California, and now he's basically a master sommelier out there. And he is always fun to have on, and he gave us all the, so you can line right in. I mean, we've had a hard time getting this started. But so anyway, tell us about Sourland Mountain Spirits. You're the CEO and founder. How long have you been in business, and why did you go into this crazy business?
So actually it goes back to when I was working for Merck Pharmaceuticals back in the early 90s. And I was driving home, sitting in traffic on Route 1, which is just a disaster. And I heard a story about a husband and wife team who decided to get out of commodity trading on the Chicago Exchange and open Chicago Brewing Company. And I literally got home and said to my wife, "We're doing this."
That's awesome.
So we opened Triumph Brewing Company in Princeton on Nassau Street in early spring of 1995. So I'm the only guy in New Jersey that I know of so far that's built a distillery and a brewery. And you know, I don't know what's next.
Is a winery next? That's my next question.
No, you know, too much money in land and too much uncertainty, you know, with the weather. My mother's always said to me, don't get into business that, you know, can destroy you with the weather and or with government intervention. So I listened to the first part. Obviously, I didn't listen very hard to the second.
There's no government intervention in distilling, none
whatsoever. They got nothing to say about it.
Just pages about that deep, and from the time you get your DSP application going and all those good things.
The Triumph's still going strong today. Between you and I should have never sold it. There were 3 partners, my wife and I and the other guy. And the other guy just had more money than we did, so we couldn't buy him out, so he bought us out. Yeah. And I told my kids, you know, you should have one partnership in your life, and that's with your wife or your husband, because business partnerships rarely survive.
You said that before.
I have said that. I'm sure they're going to be watching today, but we've had 4 people that want to come in and partner with us right now because we've grown this. You know, if you stick around long enough and you have enough scars, you know, then they think you're successful, you know, and
Right.
they want to come in,
Right.
you know, so.
So there was a 20-year split between founding, you know,
Yeah.
the corporate name was Dish Brewing Company,
Yeah.
and doing business as Triumph Brewing Company on Nassau Street in Princeton, right across from the university. Not a bad location. Still going strong today, and now there's a second and a third one in Pennsylvania and one in New Jersey. So they're up to 4, but I have no interest in it anymore.
So how did you guys come up with that name for the brewing company?
Oh, for Triumph. So actually, there were 2 names. We worked with a young fellow who was a friend of my partner, Adams, who was in the branding business. And, you know, we told him we were just jubilant because we got the law changed in New Jersey to make brew pubs legal. Sort of like what our friend Hickenlooper did in Colorado. And at least for 23 days this spring, I could say that I have a friend running for president, but after 23 days, he dropped out, but he will be our next senator from Colorado.
I just heard that. I just heard that this morning. Pretty tight race, but be awesome.
Yeah.
Be great.
No, I think he's going to do well. And
interesting guy. He really is.
John was always a good friend of mine. We were actually going to do a brewery in Jersey City together before he decided to run, you know, in like a 17-person primary for mayor of Denver. And then he won with like 4.6% of the vote.
There you go.
So he was, you know, 2-term mayor of Denver and 2-term governor of Colorado and soon to be senator. So we're proud of our fellow beer guy.
There you go. Well,
so then this time I waited till the law changed in New Jersey, you know, to make distilling legal for the first time since Prohibition. And that happened in December of 2013. And 2014 went back and forth with my wife, and she was ready to retire. And I said, let's get back in the booze business. And she said, yeah, let's do it. So we only live 2 miles from the distillery. So it's a pretty sweet commute.
Well, what young guys like you and me, I mean, there's no reason to stop now. I got all this experience. You know, wives, they're wonderful, but, you know.
Yeah, right.
They went along with you so far, you know. But, you know, what can you do, you know? So, anyway, well, tell us about Sourland. I mean, you've got it up and flourishing, and you've been busy, and what's the year been like for you?
Yeah, it's, been interesting, of course, you know, because of COVID.
Right.
But one good thing that came out of COVID is my youngest son, Sage, has joined me full time for the last 6 months. And he actually did, you know, our sprint to the starting line on sanitizer. But we got a bunch sitting in a warehouse because, you know, we lost 2 deals in like month 3 because we didn't have the product ready to go in 5 days. So I said, all right, let's build some inventory. And then Purell and Gojo got back in the game, and the, you know, bottom fell out of the market, and people went back to their, you know, their old supplier, especially like, you know, the supermarkets, and we were doing well selling sanitizer there. So need some sanitizer, let me know.
Yeah. Well.
So we've got a decent little local business on the sanitizer and a couple hospitals we continue to work with, but as of now, we're not going to make any more. So that helped us keep all of our people employed and add some. Actually, we went to 2 shifts on the sanitizer thing.
How many people do you have working?
We have 8.
Very good.
Wow.
But I got my son full time, which has been a blessing. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
So the corporate entity is Dish and Sons Distillers. So, you know, started that in 2015 and always hoped that I'd get one or both of them. So.
Well, this is the Craft Beverage and Culinary Tour, and it's for lovers that like to go out and tour, because what we do, even though we sit here in the heart of the Midwest, we have found yesterday, we did just about 20 miles from here. It's one of the better distilleries, Whiskey Acres, and I'd never gone out and got their story. It's a great story. You know, the professional is always better 50 miles away, not 10 miles away, you know. And,
yeah. That's what they say about consultants, right?
Yeah, exactly. When I used to be on Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom, and I worked for Mutual Omaha for 20 years, and I was always
God, you're touching my heart.
Yeah.
Marlon Perkins. I wrote, when I was 8 years old, I wrote a letter to Marlon Perkins.
Yeah, I remember reading it. Yeah.
I said, I'll carry your bags just up for free. My parents will pay me, and I just want to be with you.
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah, Sunday night at 6:30, everybody elbows on the carpet and black and white TV. We'll go from there, and you can figure the rest.
A little too many pounds in there.
Yeah, so let's get back to talking about what this is about. We're trying to enhance and have people understand what a great place, get the stories out, and what it's like in terms of you visiting with you and the COVID safety measures that you're taking, and what you're doing right now. What's going on inside the doors?
So, for the first time in almost 5 months, we got the right to, start doing tours again about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Awesome.
I do most of the tours myself because I love to talk, and,
of course, never do that.
Talk about making booze and having a cool distillery. And, my theory is that, if I have the conversation, I'm not only, going to sell them a bottle and a cocktail after they're done, but hopefully, they'll become loyal customers and fans. So I think it's the best single investment. A lot of my distillery friends don't even give tours because they find them just to be a pain in the neck. And I think that's very short-sighted. I see it as a tremendous, opportunity to educate people about distilling and get them interested in supporting our business. So, but we have come down from 15 people to 6 in the building at the same time. It is an old, did you get my photographs?
I did.
Yeah, okay. It's an old converted tractor barn that we put a 2-story addition on, and we make sure that there's, steady airflow through the building the entire time. So sliding doors open, a big double Dutch doors open, and everybody keeps their mask on.
Uh-huh.
Well, so we're taking it seriously. My son Sage did have it. He and his girlfriend Ava, and they quarantined and did the right thing, and now they're good to go. But they happened to be visiting in Boston, so they had a lockdown in Boston for 2 weeks and couldn't leave the house. So it's a little close to home. And I lost a friend on my block, my buddy who I used to build like fire pits with, and stack wood and do all that stuff. And he passed away in March. So we're very conscious of it, and we're doing the best we can. Currently we have a 25% limit inside capacity from the president. Maybe anyway, I'm not going to go there. I'm not allowed to go there. I am the recent past chairman of the Hopewell Democratic Party, so in Hopewell Township. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But it's I like a bigger audience, but 6 people will do, and it's better to be safe now than greedy. And we did get a wonderful extension of premise temporary permit from both the governor and director of the ABC to do cocktails outside. And I'll tell you, we're in a beautiful setting. We're in a very large, wonderful, real deal, farm to fork restaurant, brewery, and distillery all on the same site. It's the only one I know of, where the burger and the Brick Farm Tavern, we're on the same property that the Brick Farm's on, and Troon Brewing Company. You want to know about the hottest brewery in New Jersey? Well, it's 40 feet away from where I'm sitting. And the thing that's really cool is the 30-ish-year-old guy who founded it. He's the head distiller and owner. The assistant distiller, Tom Stevenson, is an old friend of mine, and he was distiller at Triumph in Princeton for 18 years. So I made the mistake of introducing those two, and they're just...
What is the name of the brewing company again?
Troon, Troon. Yeah, it means throne in Danish. You talk to any hophead in New England, and definitely in New Jersey, just waits in anticipation of getting that one of those cans in a limited release. He only sells on the property, right? 4 of the 8 taps in the tavern are his, and then he does a weekly release. Yeah.
I'm gonna call when we're done here. I'd love to do the story on that.
No, he won't. No photographs, no talk, no interviews.
Really?
Yeah, he's like this, mythical beer figure. He doesn't even sell the beer anymore. He has Tom do it. He comes in at 3 o'clock in the morning and brews up a storm, and
so nobody will tell that story.
He's a quirky fella.
He doesn't allow that to be told.
No.
Huh. Wow. There he is now.
That was my older son.
How many sons do you have?
Just 2 boys.
Yeah, I've got 4.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they're the love of my life. Really good people. Two 2 daughters-in-law and 2 grandkids, and
Oh, sweet.
all trying to be in the bubble, you know, all that good
That's
stuff.
awesome.
So how many different products are you selling? Now, I do have the pictures. They're going to be going up. So when we're talking now, there'll be the overlay of the pictures on this so people get to see them.
Well, you know, you know what I say about vodka, right? Our vodka is as good as anybody's and better than most, but it's vodka. I don't find it very interesting. But, you know, we did do a blueberry. Yeah, well, when I'm selling to professional, you know, people, there's like, you know, don't blow smoke to me on your vodka, but that's my line. And they go, I appreciate that. And then we did a special release. We're trying to do a monthly special release, especially during, you know, sort of harvest time from early spring to late fall. And we came up with this blueberry honey vodka. And, you know, Hamilton, New Jersey is the blueberry capital of the world. I'll have you know, go Jersey.
I didn't know that. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
And also, you know, the single longest continuously operating distillery in the country is in New Jersey.
Wow.
Laird's.
Huh.
You know, Applejack was their premier product. So, you know, we got some chops. We got some booze chops in Jersey.
That's all right. Hey, we just had Capone back in the whatever. So don't worry about it. That's all good.
Wait, I'm sorry. What? You want me? You knock on the door? No, we're good. We're good. Thanks, buddy. That's my son. Send him out to work.
There you go. All right, cool.
So what kind of cocktails are you guys known for when you
Well, we are very fortunate to have one of the very best local mixologists, Lindsay Newman, and she handles all of that for me. But I'll tell you, you know, it changes seasonally. And this was mostly driven by having that extension of premise. So we got 8 picnic tables in the back. And that has made every, you know, weekend where the weather's even halfway decent, just a big score for us. Also helping us out is, you know, we try and breathe life back into the off-premise accounts. Retail is coming back, and the bars are pretty much static. People are, you know, it's only been a month since they've been allowed to have 25% of the people, you know, 25% of capacity. And people are still reluctant to go inside. And primarily because, knock on wood, we've had very nice weather. So, you know, there's a lot of pent-up demand for people to go outside. And we, you know, dog-friendly, kid-friendly, you know, just hang out, do whatever you want, nothing fancy. We don't whack you over the head for the cost of the, you know, cocktails. And we've created a really nice environment. What's interesting is that over 75% every day in the last 6 weeks, there have been new customers at the distillery, especially on Saturday and Sunday. Now, that sort of plays both ways. You know, my son said, Dad, you'd rather have that than the other way. And I said, okay, so I'll go for it. But, you know, I attribute a lot of it to the pent-up demand and people just wanting to get out of the house and see other people and socialize a little bit outside. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens next year, you know, if COVID's under control, whether we still get the same enthusiastic crowds. But, you know, we're making pretty good stuff. I mean, our flagship gin, you know, just won in 2020 from the American Distilling Institute, you know, a double gold, right? The best, the best gin, best in category.
That's what
You're a gin girl?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm a big gin drinker. So we also have a coffee program where we take distilled products. We found a way to delicately wrap the world's best coffee beans. So,
yeah, we made a coffee liqueur with the best roaster in New Jersey, Rojo Roasters. His wife was actually the midwife for both of our boys, so I got a special relationship with him. I have no secrets. Certainly, my wife doesn't have any secrets.
Well,
and the coffee liqueur, we just made a batch, and it sold out in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
So I think we're going to do that again as well. What we do is we try them in these, you know, nice little 375 bottles.
Ooh.
Distillery only. And we start with a really simple label. This is sort of our next level label. You know, just a simple label across here. And we see how it sells in the store. And then, you know, we put a better label on there because then we start selling it outside, but only to local accounts. And then after that, we go to, you know, the 750 mLs for the market. So we don't want to have too many SKUs Sorry. But yeah, that's sort of the way we run now. We see if people like it. And
So, do you have a lot of distribution in New Jersey? Do you have any other states around there?
we're in 400 accounts in New Jersey. So, you know, with all due respect to distributors, you know, they're not brand builders. They're order takers and delivery people. And we were with the best of the best in North Jersey called Peerless, been around since 1933. I signed a 1-year deal with them, and then I signed a 1-year deal because I didn't think it was going to work. Because I listened to all the seminars I've gone to, and you know what everybody's opinion of distributors are. And as most states, we can only self-distribute here. So we had a partner in North Jersey and a partner in South Jersey, because Central Jersey, which is where we are, you know, we're pretty dominant, at least from the craft side. So I thought, you know what, because we can only self-distribute in New Jersey, let's at least do a trial thing with distributors, because, you know, our plan is to grow as fast and responsibly as we can. And, you know, now I know what distributors can do and what they can't do.
Right.
And, you know, what the contract needs to look like, and, you know, where I came up short, where they came up short. It was a good learning experience for both. And I said to both presidents of both distributorships, I said, guys, you know, you're not brand builders. And especially you're primarily beer guys. So we were they started a new craft division, craft spirits division, and wines. And we were their first craft spirit. So I thought, oh, well, at least I'm not going to get lost in, you know, competing with 2,000, you know, cases of Corona and, you know, 15,000 cases of White Claw, both of which they have. So you know where I would fall in the lineup, but they said, listen, we're going to start a whole new division. But, you know, they took a salesperson and tried to make her a brand manager, and a very sweet, nice lady, but really. And both presidents understood it when I called them and said, you know, this just isn't working because you're not brand builders. But I said, listen, I'll build this brand. And then, you know, maybe when we move into state 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, whatever the hell it is, you know, then we'll come back to you guys, because you're certainly good at taking orders and delivering product.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was my distributor experience.
These are the editorial expressions of Ray Dish, and not of the network which you are on right now. So that's all right.
Oh, you have some distributor sponsors?
No, we don't. No, we're in fact what has happened. We started this program with the craft beverage and culinary tour.
Culinary. Now, Ray, is it culinary or culinary?
I think it's culinary.
There you go. You got it. I'm the only one.
I have a sister and brother-in-law who went to the CIA, Culinary Institute of America. And at one point, they had 17 restaurants around the world. He's sort of I called him a B-, you know, sort of celebrity chef.
Editorial opinion.
But I'll tell you,
you're gonna have to. I'll tell you what. You should consider being one of our sponsors out in there, because we're going into radio syndication, and actually starting in LA within about 3 weeks. We've been working on it about 5 years. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But I will tell you, the best oven baked paella I will ever eat in my life was made by my brother-in-law.
Again,
one last story before we opened up Triumph. My partner Adam and I, Erica was doing something else, and my brother-in-law Todd had just gotten, you know, best chef in the James Beard Institute under 30.
We know a lot of people. I'm glad to know you. I don't know nobody.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, but I can't remember anybody anymore.
Well, they're all new friends.
I'm terrible with names, face stuff. I know you, but I don't know
Just
how.
tell you, it's going to get worse. And so we drove up to Boston, and my brother-in-law and I were still busting each other's chops. And, you know, he called me Meathead, and he said, Meathead, you know, what's your favorite food? This is at Olives in Charlestown in Boston. And I said, well, it's kind of pedestrian, but, you know, I really like buffalo chicken wings. He goes, I'll be back. So he leaves. He comes back about a half an hour later. He gives my new partner, Adam, and I a stack of buffalo chicken wings, restuffed with foie gras. So my friend Adam says, are you kidding me? This is the most amazing thing I have ever eaten. So Todd did our original menu for Triumph before we opened.
Well, it's awesome. It's been great visiting. Everybody should go take your tour because I'm sure it's a 10-minute tour that lasts 3.5 hours, but it's not a problem. You'll hear great stories while you're there.
I start with the icebreaker, and this is something that everybody should consider. Everybody has that one spirit that they can't even smell because they had so much of it in high school or college. Some of them, more recently, and then everybody tells their story, and it's usually tequila or gin. Too much of that, which
I was gonna say mine's tequila.
leaves you banged up for weeks, and that's the icebreaker. So tell their story, and and the rest we take it from there. So
yeah, one of the fun interviews we did right before Clooney sold his Casamigos. We had an hour-long show. We called it I can't remember anymore. The world whatever. And it was a great interview. And I knew Cindy Crawford actually was from my hometown. So we had sort of an end,
listen to this guy, will you?
Oh, yeah. I know
Hollywood.
People added up. Well, hey, I've been around. You know what I mean? I owe everybody something. Me and the chairman. No, not really. Anyway, Randy Gerber was a partner in there. We did this interview. 3 weeks later, of course, he gets his little check from
Casamigo.
From Adagio. One of the big ones came in and said, "Here's your check."
Diageo, I think. Yeah.
And here's your check and $300, in deferred. And so I called him back up and I said, "Hey, we just did this interview, if you know what I mean. A little something for the effort for the team here, if you know what I mean, because I'm sure it wouldn't have gone anywhere, So it was, and that, it's just been great. So I've known people very close to people that had that as a business plan. And so have anybody knocked on your door recently with a check like that? Is that something that?
Not quite so big.
Yeah.
But, we are, I'd like to think we're on the radar of like the top 10 potential strategic partners we would like to have. I don't want to give up any more equity to outside investors at this point. I've put too much into it, but I do want the next load to be a load, and 10%, 15%, 20%, whatever they want to buy, and then bring some industry knowledge and experience on how to help us grow a little bit faster than not. So we're sort of soft pedaling that right now and trying to, dominate New Jersey as best we can.
Yeah, it sounds like you're doing a good job. Actually, I did the research.
Because I'm old.
You're not old, man.
I tell these guys when I show up.
Watching Marlon Perkins, and I'm on it. Okay, now I got to do some time code. I started with them on there in 70.
Oh yeah, you got to send me a photo. Marlon and Jim. I'll even take just Marlon or just Jim.
I've got a picture of me with Marlon giving me an award for whatever, just
who cares what the award was for? You were with us.
But anyway, no, it's been great fun. Anything else I'm missing that you want to get out? Because we covered, I had a lot. Governor of from Colorado to New Jersey to California.
Yeah, you can look
distribution in 400 different places.
I haven't had a real paycheck since I left Merck in 1991. So, and I've started 8 businesses in 7 different industries. I also have a construction business I've had now for 10 years.
Wow. You gotta support
that's less than a mile down the road.
There you go.
I'm all about good commutes.
It's been wonderful. We had as I said, we've got Rob, who I think you talked to or somebody talked to.
I did.
We call him Rob in the rear view, by the way. He's on our afternoon show. He lives in an aluminum chair down in Peoria, watching in black and white. He still gets the repeats of Marlon Perkins in the show we're on.
He still has an antenna on the top of his house.
And the reason we call him Rob in the rear view, if you ever see him in the rear view, drive faster. And because he's trying to catch up to use your credit card just as he does with ours.
Well, I used to say to my brother, who was 10 years older than me, I never leave home without my brother's credit card.
No, he has actually a $75 limit on that. He does well for 3 months. So you figure out where he's staying. So
you guys got to start having more fun with your work.
No, we have a lot of fun. We'd be happy to do these. We can do them once a month for you. It brings everybody.
Are you Irish Catholic?
Who, me?
No.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
No, Irish. You look like a lot of my nieces and aunts. Oh my God.
She just got back from Vegas. I don't know. We have to rebrand her or something. I'm not sure.
I I am Swedish and Polish, so I
Oh, there you go.
I can't get I sunburn more than I suntan.
She won't tell you, but her Instagram account crashed last week, so she started a new one.
Yeah.
And because we deal with the PGA Tour quite a bit, there are reasons that Miss Kira likes to deal with the PGA Tour quite a bit. Help with the short game, if I may, you know what I mean? But anyway, we've had a lot of fun with that. How many have you had that grow to over a week?
Well, let's just say a lot of the top pros have looked at my profile, which is hilarious.
Who knew?
It's from Australia.
And they really?
Yeah.
Leishman?
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Good, yeah. Leishman owns he's part of a brewery or distillery.
I think it's both.
Yeah,
anyway.
down in Virginia. But who knew? No, we both have credentials on the PGA Tour, so we enjoy covering that. She goes out there with our old guy this past week, so it's
one last thing. I'm
Sure.
also the treasurer of the New Jersey Craft Distillers Guild, which we started here on our property 3.5 years ago. And then 26 years ago, we started the Garden State Craft Brewers Guild, which now has like 135 members in New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah, we're on the tip of the spear as far as our relationship with the director of the ABC and making sure that we, tweak this and tweak that, and that they don't put any restrictions on us because, there's no connection between politics and alcohol.
Sure. We'll go back to the Boston Tea Party. We'll start right there, And what did they go to next? Coffee, so.
Enough said.
And they found a way to do
so like I said, I've done a brewery and a distillery, so I guess dispensaries next?
No, we'll get you into coffee.
It's on the ballot in Jersey. It's on the ballot.
All right. He's talking about that CBD stuff, you know what I mean? Anyway, Ray, it's been a pleasure to get this up.
Bye, Ray.
Stay in touch. We'll have fun if we just gotta have a laugh in the morning. We appreciate it all. Thanks a lot.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ray.
Bye.
Now I gotta figure out how to end it. That'll take another deck. All right.
Terminate, Ray.
I was inspired to found and create Sourland Mountain Spirits by an inner passion for producing quality craft products. I'm a builder by nature, and I wanted to create a wonderful craft spirit that I could share with the community. Our distillery is located on a wonderful farm in central New Jersey at the foothills of the Sourland Mountains, just miles away from where George Washington crossed the Delaware. We started our portfolio with 4 bottled spirits. First was the vodka, and that was followed by a silver rum made with black pearl molasses, then a 12 botanical gin, which we then also barrel aged for 4 months. The difference between craft spirits and industrial spirits are the difference between a home-cooked meal and fast food. Slower process, the best ingredients you can afford. It's made by people who are incredibly skilled and also put a lot of their heart into their product.
So I'm the guy actually making this stuff. I mash the grains, I ferment the product of that, I distill it, I put it into bottles. I love what I do. I love making things, I love working with my hands, and I love using all of my senses. I feel like my name is on every bottle, and I want to put out something that people love.
My proudest moment was when we finally perfected the recipe for our wonderful 12 botanical gin, and then won a silver medal at the San Francisco International Spirits Competition. I am so proud of our small team of craft distillers who have put Sourland Mountains on the map. It's been an amazing journey, and we're just getting started.